4 o'clock this afternoon, we got a call for a possible structure fire on East Union here in Edwardsville. Police officers actually arrived just before our first incoming unit, verified that there was an active structure fire. We were able to get units on the scene very quickly, made entry, and did a rapid search of the structure, make sure that no one was home. Not finding anybody in, we were able to knock down the initial fire. However, because of it's an old house, multiple remodels, multiple layers of ceiling material, they weren't able to break through that to get to the attic. The fire had already jumped into the attic, and with that, with no good access to it, we had to step back and take defensive measures, and the house ended up incurring some pretty significant structural damage.
And you said nobody was in the house?
Nobody was in the house at the time. It was occupied, however, no one home.
So it was occupied. So do you know what started the fire?
We're just now getting to the point where I'm going to be able to get the investigators in. I've already assigned 3 of our department investigators to go in and establish cause and origin.
Are you considering this a crime scene?
Well, we consider every fire suspicious until we figured out exactly what started it. So it's incumbent upon us to make sure whether it was accidental or intentional that we do sniff that out, make that determination, and preserve evidence if that's what's necessary.
Someone had mentioned, I don't know, this is not official, but there might be a power line down or something like that?
One of the problems that we did have is the fire, because it had vented itself, right where the power line comes into the house, so it was just the lead coming in for that house. It actually burned through the wire, and the wire was arcing for probably the first 10 or 15 minutes that we were on the scene. Unfortunately, the position that it was in with the heavy fire, we weren't even able to get an hammering crew to disconnect that wire for us until we made more headway on the fire itself.
So it wasn't that someone had hit a power line?
No, it had just burned away where it comes into the house, and we just had to basically just mark it off to make sure none of our crews were injured by the live wire.
And no firemen were injured?
Nobody was injured. Obviously, with temperatures like this, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, anyone who's lived in the Midwest knows how brutal this can be. Well, try putting on 65 pounds of gear and going in and working a structure fire. We went very quickly to a full box and then what we call a first alarm, which got an adequate number of firefighters from neighboring companies able to come in, keep all of our crews fresh, so that nobody would be overcome by the heat.
And so you got the call about roughly 4 o'clock?
It was actually 3:49.
3:40. Okay, all right. Chief, is there anything else you can tell us that we haven't covered?
Well, everyone should just keep in mind that as we're going through this 4th of July, that fire is still very devastating, and we have no reason to believe the fireworks had anything to do with this. Okay, nothing along that line, but that's a huge concern of ours right now. It doesn't take a structure fire. It could be something as simple as a bottle rocket going into a dry wheat or cornfield, and now we've got guys in gear who are chasing a couple 100 acres of fire. With these super dry conditions that we're under, light winds, but they can pick up at any time. We're just putting the warning out, please hold the fireworks for another day, for another time, and enjoy those fireworks that are being put on by the professionals.
And again, you don't think that fireworks started this?
No, this has nothing to do with the fireworks, but that's our big concern this time of the year with these conditions as they are.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much,
Chief.
Chief.
Appreciate
it.
Okay.